ultimate teenage basketball dream team, Julian and Julian Newman, they are taking the internet by storm with their incredible dribbling skills.
Have you ever seen someone dribble a basketball like it's pure magic? Julian Newman, the 11-year-old sensation, is shaking up the internet with his mind-blowing dribbling skills. He's been dribbling like a pro since he was in 5th grade. Can you believe it? Now at 17, Julian is already thinking big. He dreams of playing college ball, and not just anywhere, but for the mighty Kentucky Wildcats, all under the legendary coach John Calipari. And get this, he wants to follow in the footsteps of NBA star Chris Paul. Basketball isn't just a game for Julian, it's his passion, his dream. Could he be the next NBA superstar? Julian Newman, Julian's sister, started playing basketball at a young age. By 3rd grade, she was already playing in varsity matches for Downey Christian School. At just 9 years old, she was being looked at for the NCAA Division I program at the University of Miami, Florida. Jaden and Julian made history as the youngest basketball players ever to score over 1,000 points at the varsity prep level. The athlete's net worth is estimated to be between $100,000 and $1 million. He makes money from selling merch and partnering with brands as an ambassador. Thanks to his increasing online following, Julian's family also started the Prodigy Sports apparel brand. Julian Newman comes from a mixed background, with Jewish, American, and Puerto Rican heritage. His father, Jamie Newman, used to play basketball as a point guard in Colonial High School in Orlando, and now teaches history while coaching basketball at Downey Christian School. Julian's mother, Vivian Gonzalez, is Puerto Rican and played point guard at University High School before serving in the Navy and working for the Postal Service. In 2015, Julian began starring in his documentary series called Born Ready, which is uploaded on the YouTube channel Elite Mixtapes. The Newman family also features in the reality show Hello Newmans, launched by Sports Network Overtime in 2019. Julian is linked with his family's sports apparel brand Prodigy, with merchandise being sold at his games. Julian's journey is just the beginning, and the world can't wait to see where his talent takes him. Will he make it to the big leagues? Remember those videos we all watched online about 10 years ago? There was this little kid who was amazing at basketball. That was Julian Newman. People thought he'd be a basketball superstar when he was just 11, but now, more than 10 years later, things don't seem so great. Julian hasn't made it to the NBA, not even close. So, what happened? How did he go from being super famous to almost forgotten? Well, the answer might surprise you. I mean, why was Julian famous on the internet as a kid anyway? To understand that, we have to go back to the beginning. When Julian was only 3, he was already playing basketball. He grew up in a family that loved basketball. His dad trained him from a very young age. Julian practiced 200 jump shots every day. It's all about starting young, right? He became famous in 2012 because of his awesome basketball videos on YouTube. Even though he was just in 5th grade, he played varsity basketball for Downey Christian School. People had mixed feelings about him. Some thought he was super talented, like a young basketball star in the making. Others weren't so sure, especially about how he was promoted at such a young age. When Julian was in 5th grade, he started getting noticed by big media outlets. And he first played basketball for the middle school team, but he was so good that he got moved up to the varsity team. He scored 91 points in one game while still in middle school. Julian's amazing skills kept him shining as he got older. In 6th grade, he was averaging 17 points per game. A video of him playing posted on YouTube by a recruiting website went viral. It got over 3.5 million views. He started making headlines in newspapers like Sports Illustrated and the New York Times. He even appeared on TV shows like Steve Harvey, Ellen DeGeneres, and Good Morning America. His fame went even higher when he played at halftime during an Orlando Magic NBA game. People couldn't stop talking about him, especially when he scored 52 points in a game against another top player, Kyree Walker. His video from that game became a sensation too. One of his videos got over 13 million views on YouTube. The Huffington Post even called him the best 6th grade basketball player ever. In 7th grade, he was known as the most promoted 12-year-old basketball player worldwide. He really did well, averaging almost 20 points, 10 assists, and 4 rebounds per game. In 2015, he became the youngest player to score 1,000 points in varsity basketball. His success continued in 8th grade, where he averaged almost 24 points, 11 assists, and 3 rebounds per game. People started seeing him as a basketball phenomenon in high school. But some people didn't like how much Julian was being promoted though. They compared him to a child star, but still, millions of people watched his videos. By his sophomore year in high school, Julian had broken the Florida Prep scoring record, scoring a total of 3,870 points. For his senior year, he switched to Prodigy Prep, a new school in Orlando created by his dad, who also coached the team. After playing basketball for 7 years in high school, Julian graduated in 2020. He scored a total of 6,246 points during his time on the varsity team, which makes him the 4th highest scorer in the nation's history for boys basketball. But even with all these achievements, Julian's popularity started to fade. The big ranking platforms didn't include him on their lists for the class of 2020, even though he did well individually. The excitement around him wasn't the same as before. When Julian finished high school, everyone expected him to go to college and maybe even make it to the NBA. But things didn't go as planned. He didn't get many offers, and he decided to not go to college and instead play basketball overseas. It's puzzling how someone with so much talent didn't get the opportunities they deserved. The reasons behind this sudden change in Julian's fortunes are unclear, but one thing's for sure, his journey from being a promising young talent to facing uncertainty about his future is a story that's full of twists and turns. He wanted to play basketball overseas in places like Germany, China, Italy, the G League, or even Australia. He thought this would help him get ready for the NBA draft. But there were reasons why things didn't work out. Julian's height, which is between 5'5" and 5'7", was one factor. Some people said being short would make it hard for him to compete against taller players. They thought taller and stronger players would give him a tough time in higher level games. Critics also said Julian wasn't very athletic. They pointed out that even though shorter players like Nate Robinson, who's 5'9", could dunk and block shots easily, Julian couldn't do that. Julian's style of play, like taking tough three-point shots, was also mentioned as a reason why things didn't go as planned. There have been rumors about Julian Newman and the NBA draft, but it's crucial to consider the source of this information. Recent reports appear to originate from a prank account named NBA Sentinel. These parody accounts frequently share humorous or fabricated content, so it's wise to trust reputable sources for reliable draft updates. Julian Newman's father, Jamie Newman, served as the head coach of Julian's basketball team throughout his 7-year career. However, Jamie faced criticism for his basketball knowledge and coaching abilities. Some observers felt that Jamie lacked proper coaching skills and appeared to be more of a parent taking over coaching duties without a deep understanding of the game. There were concerns about Jamie possibly exploiting Julian and his sister, Jaden, who were both talented players but were not considered 5-star athletes. Critics questioned whether Jamie's coaching style adequately prepared Julian for college, as it focused more on street ball and long-range shooting rather than fundamental skills like facilitation, defense, or team leadership. Some questioned whether it was realistic to expect a 5'7" player like Julian to consistently score over 20 points per game in college or even the NBA. While height isn't necessarily a limitation, the criticism was grounded in the observation that successful smaller players, like Isaiah Thomas, typically excel in traditional point guard roles, which require different skills than those emphasized in Julian's coaching approach. If Julian can adjust his attitude and adopt a more humble approach, we believe he has the potential for a successful basketball career. So, what are your thoughts about this? Do let us know in the comments section. Also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Until next time, see you all.